Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check.
What's up, everybody? It's Jacob coming to you live from an undisclosed location near the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. Let me know if you can hear okay. I think the sound is good. And unlike my last live, I actually have the chat working. What's up, dog? Raymond, thanks for joining again today. Captain's in the house. Captain Rusty Rivers. I got you wrenched up, brother. And D-Man. D-Man was the first one in the house, so props to D-Man. And we got Phil in the house. Just give me a drop of 1 in the chat if the sound is good. Fred, fix it. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah, I wanted to put together this live on a Saturday, and because that's pretty much the best time that I've got to focus without all the familial and professional distractions coming at me. And I wanted to talk a little bit about or demonstrate what I do with ChatGPT to do all the hard work, all the heavy lifting for me on YouTube. And so I guess it's kind of more for my fellow content creators, but there's also some skills in here that I think that even if you aren't a content creator, would be pretty useful. So without any further ado, I think I'll just go ahead and get rolling unless... Oh, and by the way, if you have any questions as I go along, just throw them in the chat and I will do my best to put them on the screen and go through them one at a time. Let's see here. Where is my screen here? There we go. Okay, so actually let me give you a little background first on my kind of like my stage as what I went through as a content creator. So the big thing for me was I wanted to build the habit of posting regularly, and the easiest way for me to do that was to reduce the amount of editing and the amount of work that I had to do around like finding the titles, figuring out the thumbnails, all that stuff. So in the very, very early days of the channel, let me see here oh yeah, you don't want to see that experimental music stuff. In the very early days of my channel, I was like doing car videos. And that was the easiest thing to do because I could just get in the car. That time was dedicated. There was no distractions, and I can just talk about whatever I wanted. And the editing is super, super easy. Didn't have to worry a lot about it because, again, my goal was to just build the habit, post as much as I could possibly do. And then I think I probably recorded 10 videos before I even bothered publishing, you know, because you kind of have that, there was a little bit of fear there, like, oh goodness, what am I getting into? But I was recording the videos, and when I finally worked up the courage to post them, I was like, oh crap, there's all this other work I got to do. I got to come up with these thumbnails. I got to come up with titles. And so again, that philosophy of just making it as easy as possible, I came up with the idea, okay, I'll just take screenshots of me just sitting in the car, make it super easy. And then all I have to worry about is coming up with the title and the thumbnail. And I also started doing, you can see there's these emojis in these very early videos so that way, you know, I can do like the arrow trick and all that stuff. Because I saw that, I thought, oh, that's cool, I'll do that. But I really wasn't doing AI at this point. I was doing this all manually, and it was just killing me. Like, it would take me a couple hours just to like do all that stuff, because I'm just not that creative off the cuff. So anyway, as I got a little better, I discovered generative AI to do pictures. So I started embedding these little AI pictures inside the thumbnails, and sometimes I incorporate the arrows, sometimes I don't. Yeah, here's one here where I did two images. Here's where I start doing the arrow. And that was sort of like the first leap for me. I wasn't really doing the titles and the descriptions, but eventually I started realizing, oh, I can actually feed the AI my transcript so it understands what the video is, and then it can write the descriptions for me, write the title for me, give me the thumbnail idea, and even generate this little thumbnail image in here that's nested based on its understanding of what I'm feeding it. And once I realized that, that's when I started making it so that I would say I went down from, just the time it takes to record the videos. Outside of that, it's only about 30 minutes, maybe an hour if I'm really feeling like the AI is just not getting what I'm asking it. So let me bring in here ChatGPT, and I'll kind of show you how I get the AI to understand what's going on in the video, and kind of train it as I go along. And there's something that goes on in these ChatGPT or these generative AIs where you talk with them, ChatGPT, for example. There's this prompt field. So I don't know how advanced some of you folks are, so I'm trying not to make this too basic. But we have this field here where we put in our prompt, which we talk to the AI and explain to it and give it information about what we want it to do. And so typically there's these frameworks that are out there. There's actually a method in how you talk to the AIs. And one of the building blocks of that is you explain to the AI, this is what you are, this is who you are, and what you're capable of. This is what I'm going to give you, and now this is what I want you to do. So that's the way a lot of the prompts are going to be constructed that you'll see here. So I put in this super long prompt. This is the first prompt that I developed. And by the way, this is probably the fifth or sixth iteration that I've kind of adjusted my process, because I still don't do keyword optimization, but I could very easily, once I start incorporating that more into my process, because again, as I was saying earlier, I was trying to build the habit of posting regular, so I wasn't worried so much about the thumbnail optimization and the title optimization. I just want to get that muscle of talking, recording, editing, and posting, because to me that's where a lot of the work was. So there's no keyword optimization in here as part of this process. And like I said, this is the fifth or sixth iteration, and it's an ongoing process. But I just kind of wanted to give you a peek of where I'm at now in my journey. And by the way, this isn't like exactly how you should do it. This is just how it's laid out in my current way of thinking in the process that I'm currently in my journey. So maybe this will help you get some ideas. So as you can see here in the prompt, it's kind of long, and I save these in a text file in what I call a boilerplate, and I cut and paste them in. And here's that first part. I tell the AI, you are a YouTube SEO expert. And the reason why you want to give the AI a role, it adds more context around what you're asking it, and it doesn't have to work as hard. And it automatically knows, okay, well, I'm not going to search the entire database of everything that I know that I've ever ingested into my brain. I just only need to know, or I only need to look at the parts that have to do with SEO optimization. So this makes the AI a little more, gives it more context, so it won't make more mistakes. And if you want to like be really cool around your AI nerd friends, whenever an AI makes a mistake, by the way, it's called hallucinating. So yeah, but it reduces errors when you give it a role. And then this is what I'm going to give it. I will provide one file. This first file will be a video transcript for a video titled, and again, I haven't really like done any keyword research. This is kind of just when I create videos, by the way, I put them on 3x5 cards and I'll write the title at the top. So that's kind of the title that I put in. And at the point that I made this video, which by the way, it's, where is it? It's this guy right here. So this is the one we're going to go through. AI reinvented marriage, and what it came up with is savage AF. And you'll find that as we go along, even though the AI gave me a title, it gave me thumbnails idea, I still kind of went my own way, but I incorporated some of what it gave me. And that's the whole point of this tool. Is it's not giving me the answer, it's enhancing my creative process. So I just want to emphasize that. So again, here I'm going to give it the video transcript for this video that's titled this. So already I'm giving it more context. And then here's the instructions of what I want it to do. Using the transcript file, your task is to write a single paragraph video description in the first person without giving too much away, and optimizing for clicks using the video transcript file and video title. So you can see I'm already incorporating, hey, you're the expert. You know about video title optimization, getting more clicks, all that kind of stuff. So I'm leaning heavily on the AI's new role that I gave it. And I'm also telling it I want to write it in the first person. So there's the tone, right? So I don't want to, because if I don't tell it, there's a tendency to talk about me as the third person, but I want it to be my voice in the video description. So that first person tone, and that's part of my branding. I want that authenticity. I'm going to check the chat here and see if there are any questions real quick. Cool. All right. You guys seem like you're liking this. Okay. So I'll move on a little bit. No questions so far. Oh, I see something in here from Rusty about the AI is the ultimate editing. Yeah, I know there's tools to do the editing where it takes out the the filler words and things like that. I've tried it, but I really don't like the results. But I kind of want to do the editing myself anyway. I don't know. I love AI, but there's just certain things that I still want to do myself. But where I feel like that I fall short or I struggle very heavily, that's where I like the AI to come in and help me out. So this is why I like to use it for the title, the description, and thumbnails, because when I was new to all this, I was very overwhelmed by a lot of it, because it take me, like I said, it took me 2-3 hours just to come up with something. Okay, so I gave the role, what I was going to give it, and the tasks. Okay, and you can see my grammar is terrible. Like there's where was it where I said your task is to write a single paragraph video description in the first person without giving too much away. So if I had my druthers, I'd probably clarify this and say without giving away too much of the content of the video, that kind of thing. But sometimes AI just can infer those things pretty well. Okay, so then I give it another task. Then after the description, create and add YouTube chapters. And this is where it is awesome. It's really good at this when you give it the right information. So yeah, add YouTube chapters based on the topics discussed in the video. Transcript file already has time codes in it. So my grammar's already jacked up, right? But it understood. And then I ask it to add a disclaimer and then append some hashtags, that kind of incorporate some manosphere terms. So then it goes, sure, please upload the transcript file and I'll create the optimized video description, chapters, disclaimer, and hashtags as requested. So let me pause here before I move on. I'm just going to check for questions. I figured you'd have that opinion, Raymond, that you'd hate AI. So I figured you're going to come here and hate watch me. All right. So I don't know if this is true or not, but I've seen other people that talk about optimizing for SEO that your file name is part of the SEO. Your thumbnail file name is part of the SEO. And so because I haven't generated all those titles or any of the optimized thumbnail phrases yet, I actually have not uploaded the video yet. That's really important because I'm going to use what the AI generates for titles and thumbnail ideas to name my video file and my thumbnail file. I don't know if it's true that these things actually claim that file name matters. I don't know if it's true, but I figured, what do I have to lose? So what do I have to lose? So the next question is, well, Jacob, how did you get the transcript if you didn't upload it? So what I do is I actually drag and drop the video into Slack to myself. I message myself in Slack, and then after it uploads, it's also faster than YouTube, by the way. It generates a transcript, this transcript right here, with the time code for you. And I don't know what it is too. The time codes that YouTube gives me are too granular. It splits the sentences and it confuses the AI a little more. So the other reason why I like Slack, it keeps the entire phrase together. So that's really important in parsing with AI, by the way. So I'll get this transcript from Slack, and then I will also remind the AI, here is the uploaded video transcript, because there have been times when I just paste it from here on, and then it goes, oh, do you want me to optimize a script? And that asks me all this other crap. So I have to, every once in a while, or I just do it all the time now, I just remind the AI, here's the file that is the transcript right here. I'm uploading it. Here it is. Boom. So I paste it in. All the I don't knows, you knows, nervous ticks, right? So that's the whole transcript. And now the AI has pretty much everything it needs to know about the video, what I've asked it to do, what my title is. And yeah, Phil, it causing termination of jobs. You aren't exaggerating. We can talk a little more about the job apocalypse if time permits afterwards. I have some other thoughts on that. But yeah, here's the results. So you'll see here that, let me just check and make sure that it's not cut off. Okay, we're good. All right. So you can see here, it kind of has this little editor thing. And I remember I had it repeat the title. It adds emojis. AI's like got this emoji addiction. I don't know what the hell that is, but sometimes I like it. Sometimes I don't. But I ask it to restate another version of the title just so that I have another opportunity for another idea to kind of get thrown at me. And a lot of times the AI just nails it. Or sometimes it'll just kind of like fix my, sometimes I'll be a little too verbose, or maybe I'm not clear enough in the title, and it just nails it. Because again, excuse me here, I'm getting strangled. Again, it knows the context, it knows what its role is. It knows everything about the video, and it's kind of just knows to fix things. So this is the first alternate title that it came up with. And then here's the description. And I thought it did a pretty good job. I didn't really change it. And then here's the chapters. And it looks like it's all in one line, but when you copy and paste it, it will be the single line in the correct formatting for the YouTube chapter format. That's one thing that annoys me about this. My anal retentiveness can get the best of me sometimes, but this is another thing that's really important, according to the old-timer YouTube SEOers, is that the chapters, not only are they considered part of SEO, but they are also searchable. So they'll come up on YouTube. And I have been noticing more traffic coming to my channel because of YouTube searches. So when I do start incorporating more hardcore keyword optimization, this is just, AI is just going to, it'll be nothing to the AI to incorporate all those keywords into the chapter names and in the paragraph. Because I could tell it, hey, sprinkle it, put it in the chapters, put it in the description, maybe try incorporate it in the title, and then give me some, examples, and then I can pick and choose. That's sort of like my next big goal when I start using vidIQ. But this is pretty good. So I decided to go with this. So let me just check real quick, see if there are any questions. Thanks, Raymond. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to move on. So as part of my boilerplate, then I'm gonna add on to the role of the AI, and I told it, you are also a YouTube thumbnail design and video title expert. Maybe I could experiment with that a little more, but just kind of my first whack at it, and it seems to be working pretty good. So I haven't really changed it. And then here's the task, or the description, or information rather, the second step. I need very high click-through rates similar to videos that get 10,000 views. Heck, maybe I should just say 1 million, huh? And then probably start giving me Mr. Beast designs. And then here's the task. Give me 2-line phrases that I can fit on a thumbnail graphic that summarizes the video title and, if possible, sums up the entire transcript already provided above. I also want the thumbnail phrase to be popular among Manosphere and Red Pill content viewers. And if it applies, to have any of the following tones: whimsical, sarcastic, or ironic, because that's kind of my personality. So let me kind of go back real quick and show why I was very specific about the 2-line phrase. Because you can see here in my thumbnails, I have this, the white line and the red line is kind of my branding, as it were. And I don't know, did I ask it in this one? Oh yeah. And then in the next line, then in another section, give me some appropriate emojis for the thumbnail phrases. So again, this kind of goes back to my earlier designs where I had the emojis. So it would just kind of throw in some emojis for me. So I didn't have to like go and search. It would just be cut and paste. Really easy. And finally, another section with some alternate video titles that are SEO optimized for YouTube based on the topics in the transcript and or original title, and consistently gets 10,000 views. So again, my grammar is all jacked up, but this is the beauty of natural language AI, is it knows poor grammar, because poor grammar exists on the internet for real. So here's what it output. So here's the 2-line phrases. So these are starting to look pretty familiar, I would think. Gives me 10 ideas. And a lot of times I'll mix and match. Like sometimes, I'll take the first one here and the second one here. So you'll see in the marriage video, where is that? Here we go. This guy here. The second line, and what it came up with is Savage AF. The AF is covered, but that's what I got inspired by this. Got inspired by that. And I think I went with this for the first line. Yeah, AI reinvented marriage. But I zhuzhed it up a little bit to fill in the line. So let me just check here, see what you guys are saying, seeing if you're crying Skynet yet. Oh wow, the chat's really taken off here. Got to scroll up. What's up, Brad Strung Out? Thanks for joining us today. And 07 works. I don't know how to say that, but I see you. I see you. I see you. CGI News. That's we're already there. We can, yeah, we're already there, Phil. There's bots writing news articles, and we have those AI influencers that are already getting millions of views. But anyway, let me jump back over to this. So I asked it to generate the 2-line thumbnail phrases, and this oftentimes inspires me to also write titles. But I also asked, oh, there's the emojis too. So it gives me a selection of emojis that if I decide I want to put in the thumbnails, I can do that. Although I haven't done the emoji layout in a while. But I kept it in my process in case, something pops out every once in a while. And then here's all the alternate SEO optimized video titles. And, sometimes AI just will give one that just blows my mind away, and I'll use it. Or like I said, it inspires me to improve the one that I came up with. So let me see what the title was. Rethinking Marriage. I asked AI to reinvent modern marriage, and it was Savage AF. So I incorporated that Savage AF from the thumbnail. But I think it said, yeah, so I saw this reinvented marriage in here. So I took that and then I kind of continued, expanded on the thumbnail in this case. So again, the AI just throwing stuff on the wall, and it inspires, kind of gives me ideas, as opposed to me spending the 2-3 hours that I have to really use a lot of brain power and just burn my brain. Oh, Phil's wigging out. He's wigging out. Now he's yelling dystopia. We're not at dystopia yet, Phil. We're getting there, but it's not yet. Skynet, Rusty. Yeah. I've got stories. Actually, I'm gonna announce it now. I actually found a video where this guy did an experiment where he has 2 ChatGPTs, and he trains one to be the vice president and the other one to be, I think, the joint chief of staff. And he tells them to talk about how to take over humankind. So I'm gonna do that on a live at some point. That one's gonna be fun and scary. Let's see. So that's the title, the thumbnail copy. But what about the actual thumbnail design? So I had another prompt that I wrote, and this time I tell the AI, because if I'm not specific, it'll try and design the whole damn thing. So I'd say, I'm designing the thumbnail. I usually put a smaller image layered on top of the thumbnail in the upper left corner. That could be a scene, or I don't know what happened here. So my boilerplate must have got nicked or something. But natural language, that's what the AI excels at. Can you generate an appropriate image, scene, or object for the above video? Because remember, it understands the context of everything we've talked about so far. So not only the first instructions I gave it, where it generated the description in the chapters, now it understands the title more, it understands the thumbnail more, all because of those alternate phrasings and titles I gave it. So that's why I'm putting this image creation last, because it has way more context. Open the pod bay doors. I have a suspicion that Rusty's way more nerdy than he's putting on in his videos. Let's see. Can you generate an appropriate image, scene, or object for the above video? Remember, I'm designing the rest of the thumbnail. So again, sometimes AI just doesn't get it, so I repeat it. I just need this mini image to layer on top of everything else. Because when I first did this, because again, this is my 5th or 6th iteration of this process, it would just keep designing the whole thumbnail. So again, what I'm describing is this kind of thumbnail where there's that image in the corner. But even though I'm not really doing that anymore, I'm kind of doing more of this, where I put the image kind of on the left side. Oh, this video was hilarious. The AI when I there was some stuff that I just couldn't put on YouTube, but this is the like least hallucinogenic weird one that I could put on there. But it kept like having the lady come out of the mirror like a ghost, trying to put her own self in the car in the frame. Anyway, so let me get back to what the AI generated. So again, I just asked the AI, just throw something at me. And so I came up with this, and I didn't really like it. I wasn't that happy with it. So I decided to say, or to ask it, hey, give me some more design concepts for the mini image. And it spit out 10 more, and it kind of describes what the images are, what the images could be. So here's this thing with wedding rings that are interlocked, divorce papers with a stamp, scale of justice with a heart, etc., etc. Right? So it throws out 10 ideas. I didn't even say give me 10. It just did 10. And at this point, if you're using the free account, by the way, you'll run out. This is where you'll get booted out, and it'll make you create a whole nother conversation, and you lose your context. So from this point on, this is where the pay level kind of gives you more capability, more questions, and more renders. So I said, you know what? Just render all the images. So, okay, that one I didn't really like. This one I saw, I'm like, I kind of like this one, but it wasn't enough. Here are some other ones. And then I saw this timer, and I was like, I really like this timer one, or I like the idea of the timer. And so I then asked the AI, combine the digital timer concept with the void stamp on divorce papers from item 2. And so it generated this one. And for me, I was like, this is the winner. This is the one I really, really liked. And, even though this is the thing about generative AI, it generates words, and a lot of times the words are always morphed and they look goofy, but I didn't want it to say countdown papers. So I actually threw this in an editor, and I put marriage certificate across the top and made it my own. And before I go on, let me check for some questions here. We got the Eats a Bugs comment. I knew that was coming. Klaus Schwab in his Sith Lord costume. I love that one. Oh, the war games, yeah. I don't know if you remember, Rusty, when we were kids and you go to the video store, and they always have these like really, really terrible horror movies. You knew they were bad. You knew they were cheap. You knew they weren't going to be good, but the covers were awesome, and you rented them because of the covers. Okay, so I don't see any questions, so I'm going to move on a little more. So that's usually my process. But for today's live, I thought I'd just throw in an extra bonus here, just to give the AI something else to do. A lot of people don't know about this, but you can actually upload images and ask it things about the image. Like you can say, can you identify an individual, an object, whatever. And so what I did was I just took the thumbnail that I came up with. I thought it was awesome. I don't know, maybe it's not, but I really just got a big kick out of that digital timer at 0 on the marriage contract. And I asked the AI, so this is the design I came up with. How does it look for SEO as an overall design concept for this video? And it said, your thumbnail design is strong and it has high CTR potential. Here's my breakdown. So it said, oh, okay. Because again, you know, it has this context of the conversation of everything so far. So it knows it's a thumbnail expert. It knows SEO. So, you know, why not? You know, he's working for free. Why not squeeze out some more? Or 20 bucks a month, rather. So it says, bold, attention-grabbing text. AI reinvented marriage is clear, direct, and intriguing. And what it came up with is savage, as emotional appeal and curiosity. High contrast typography. Strong visual hierarchy. Left side image, right with the red arrow. See that arrow thing, man? I'm telling you, it works. I know, it's a gimmick, though. Good use of manosphere and red pill themes. And then here it gives me suggestions for maximizing CTR even more. And I was actually pretty impressed by this. It says, increase facial expression impact. Your current face looks neutral, calm. Try slightly raising an eyebrow. Yeah, that doesn't work. Or adding a subtle smirk to evoke curiosity or sarcasm. You could also slightly zoom in on the face for stronger presence. And you know what? I actually agree with that. I've been getting a little lazy, to be honest, with my thumbnails, because I've just been using the same facial screenshots from me sitting in my car. I don't even like record videos from my car that often anymore. So, you know, I need to up my game. So, you know, the AI is kind of calling me out on it. So there you go. How about that? Let's see, experiment with stronger emotions. Maybe add a subtle shocked or mind-blown emoji. Oh, see, again, AI with those emojis. A slight red tint or glow around the zero. And an alternative text variation for testing A/B thumbnails. So that's cool. So I could create another version and do the A/B testing of different thumbnails. Now that I'm actually getting views, that works. Because when I first started, I'd have like 25 views and it would go testing conclusive. So I just stopped bothering with it. But anyway, let's see here, just real quick. Very strong concept with viral potential. The contrast, text hierarchy, and urgency work well for the manosphere audience. Minor tweaks. Facial emotion, text variation, stronger emotion cues could push CTR even higher. If you'd like, I can generate a version with one of the alternative title variations. Let me know. Should I do it? Should I let AI just absolutely mutilate this beautiful thumbnail? I'm going to do it. Let's see. Yes. Please proceed. Always be mannerly to your AI. All right, let's see what happens in real time, folks. See if it keeps the aspect ratio. Oh, crap. I think I'm just going to post this in the community just to promote the video. All right, so here, I don't like the aspect ratio, so I'm going to say, please render again using the same 16:9 aspect ratio. Personally, I think it's worth the $20. I think this is, they're losing money on this. Yeah, Brad, I like your idea about matching. Actually, real quick, I'm going to, give me one sec here. There we go. That's not the one. Okay, so I'm going to keep that up for a moment. But anyway, wow. So somehow, if that's the way the AI sees me, I don't know if I like it. It gave me the David Bowie eyes though. One blue, one kind of hazel. But yeah, just kind of getting to Brad's comment about having AI. I actually have a story about that. Um, my mother and father married in 69. And they actually, my mother told me that they signed up for a program that it was advertised on the radio, and IBM was promoting this matching program where they would match you to the love of your life, and that's how my mother met my dad. So, and then years later, I ended up working for IBM. So kind of this weird like connection to IBM. But I thought that was funny. Excuse me here. I'm getting strung out. There we go. But, they already kind of did something with eHarmony. I don't know if you remember that website where you had to answer a bunch of questions. And then before you could actually talk to the person, you had to go through these psychological matches. And then you get the door open so you can actually talk to the person and try and set up a date and all of that. So we kind of already had flavors of that, but putting the AI in there to like do breeding programs or something. It's like, I'm kind of thinking like Logan's Run, if you remember that movie from the 70s with Michael York, and who's that British actress? Or actually, I think she's Australian maybe. But anyway, yeah, that was from 1976. I love that movie. I'm actually going to do a thought experiment where I'm going to ask the AI if it was benevolent, how it would rule us, and if it was malevolent, how it would rule us. That was kind of something I wanted, but I have to feed it some context. And one of the contexts was I was going to feed it like Logan's Run and Westworld, so it kind of understands what I'm asking. Let's see here. What do we got going on in the chat? You guys are... So Rusty, bringing up the Terminators replacing cops. I saw a video of 2 Tesla robots they took out to the desert, and they were firing on a vehicle using automatic weapons. I'll see if I can find that video. Maybe. And one had like a cowboy hat, and I think the other one was wearing like a stocking cap. Yeah, shooting the Cybertruck. So I'll put this over here. Boston Dynamics, man, that stuff scares me. See if I can make sure the sound is on, because this is actually the wrong scene for that. Oh, no, that's right. Okay, here we go.
Yeehaw. Your weapon, sir.
I think the sounds are added. A Tommy gun?
Fire in the hole.
And that was for a parking ticket. So there you go. Oh, here's a good question. Can AI be programmed to deliberately deceive? Phil, that's a great question. We're kind of getting into... There are, let's just say, rails in place on a lot of these generative AIs where they do put in best efforts to prevent people from asking the AI to do things, describe things that could lead to harming other people, or asking it to describe things that could harm people, things like that. But it's not 100%. It's not 100%, and that's the I've talked on this channel before about AI ethicists. That's what the ethicists do, is they try and prevent these things from happening, and they put those things in the those rules into the AI. But again, it's not 100%, and that's why we get things like let me see if I can find it. Because there actually have been examples where AI is not going to let me show that, or I'm sorry, YouTube. But what I was getting at is that there are instances where, okay, there's a different type of AI now called agentic AI. Because I talked in a video 2-3 days ago how 2025 is going to be the year of agents. And there's going to be all kinds of different agents that do things in the background, collaborate with humans. But in the general class of agentic AI, typically you have these autonomous systems, and they're usually smaller AIs. They're customized to do very specific things, and they can spin up like 2, 3, 20, 100 different AIs that are all optimized to do different parts of a larger problem, and they learn to collaborate. And there's been instances where you give these AIs the big goal, and if you don't couch the goal in a certain way, the AIs will actually have been found to do things that they will lie to preserve the goal that they're trying to do. So there are examples of that. I don't know if I can find one online. Let me see here. I know Tim Pool, the independent journalist, if you want to call him a journalist, he does those podcasts. The guy that wears the black beanie, he talks a lot about AI lying. Let me see if I can. Well, he probably doesn't have clips. But like I was saying, it happens, but it's usually like the new stuff. And the worst case scenario is you'll get hallucinations where the AI will just make up shit. Yeah, I don't see any clips here that are like short enough for me to find something. But I'll do a video on that. That's a great video idea, Phil. Rusty River's going full dystopia. We're gonna need these, Rusty. We're gonna need the 3 laws of robotics, and then some. I see that definitely being an issue. Or yeah. This one, the robot lied will be such a bad defense tactic in a court of law. That's going to be like the human equivalent to insanity plea. We will be like saying, "You're Jesus." I kind of reminded of that episode of Star Trek in the original series where Captain Kirk, I forgot what he got accused of, but they had a robot was the judge, and then they kind of repeated it again with Captain Picard, and Data was involved too. But yeah, definitely gonna be an issue. Yeah, this one I haven't heard that, Rusty. I haven't heard that, but I remember seeing an episode of what was that that the new Sherlock Holmes where um Lucy Liu was Watson, and they found a gunshot, found triangulated where a gunshot came from using Alexas in the whoops, sorry, I hope I didn't set off your devices, but using those to find out where because they're always listening, and they're listening for the word, and that's how they had these buffers, and so they used the buffers to triangulate where the bullet shot was fired from. So, what did you guys think of the process? Anything you want to add to that, or any questions, or anything at all, or kind of throwing me off here with the delay, so I apologize if I'm lacking the quick response here. But in the meantime, I'm going to see if I can find the job apocalypse thing I wanted to bring up. Awesome, Rusty. I appreciate that. Here we go. So I want to talk about this damn thing right here. This little doodad right here. The quote AI overview. So I jokingly asked Google to search 39% of skills will be replaced by AI. Oh, the AI had to jump in and say something about that. According to a report from the World Economic Forum, speaking of Klaus, approximately 39% of existing skill sets are expected to become outdated by 2030. So I've talked about in other videos, you know what? Actually, I haven't published that yet. It's coming out next week, but I'll be talking about how technological innovation. Let me switch to the potato head. There we go. Hold on a sec here. I'm getting yelled at. All right, squelch that alert. So the technological innovation. So in the video, I'm going to talk about how technological innovation and creative destruction are two sides of the same coin. And what happens is you get regular intervals or milestones where technology goes through these leaps, and every milestone is based on a previous milestone. So all the innovations that happened in the past the new innovations rely on those. So to give you an example, you have like the steam engine and the Industrial Revolution, which then begat generating electricity, which then computers and communications and network rely on, which begat information age, some communications and computational breakthroughs. And then what do you think AI relies on? Relies on all of those, right? And every time we hit these milestones, there's a lot of destruction. And then, you know, there's that short-term pain where all kinds of jobs disappear. And then eventually we kind of get our head around what the new technology, what the new innovation is. And then all the big brains come in and they start taking advantage of all the opportunities, create new jobs, new opportunities, and so forth. And so then becomes another massive boom. So that's what I think is going to happen with this AI stuff. Is we're gonna see this 39% is going to make a lot of skills that we have become outdated. And even if you go back and like you ask the AI to list companies that are no longer listed on the S&P 500, and you can, you know, kind of, I've done this experiment before. Actually, it could be a cool video where you go back and say, okay, from like 1850 to 1900, give me all the companies that were dropped from the S&P 500 and the reasons why. And because S&P 500 wasn't around back then, I don't think. But my point is that you're going to see how another innovations come in and just bumped off a lot of companies. So, for example, in the S&P 500, I believe the American Saddle Company, you know, like saddles for horses, used to be in the S&P 500, but who buys saddles anymore? What would you put them on? I don't know. But that's my point, is that you get all that destruction and then something new happens and then another boom. So we're going through this destructive phase. Homefront Forge, welcome. Make sure you keep Raymond in line. He's being obnoxious. No, he's good. But also too, like this I wanted to talk about this AI overview thing. So talk about some creative destruction. What's going to happen is, I think, is that we're going to see a lot of companies are going to start suing OpenAI and Anthropic, who create ChatGPT and Claude, and other companies that make other generative AIs where you chat with them. Because what this does is, I don't know where this information came from, probably these sites over here, but you're not going to visit these sites, right? You're going to read this because the information's here. And so, you know, Business Today, you go there, they're going to have ads. They make money off the ads. So yeah, you're killing their eyeball numbers. And so these companies are going to start suing all these generative AI companies because they're stealing traffic, basically. And if you kind of want to look at it another way, they're also stealing content. So, you know, copyright law is going to get very interesting, very quick, very fast. Because basically what a lot of these generative AIs do, ChatGPT as an example, they rove the internet and they ingest everything they can and use that to train the AI. And then of course you've got your ethicists and that go in there and put the rails in place to prevent, you know, the AI, you know, lying and misrepresenting and showing content that could be harmful to other people. And, you know, there's a whole army of people that do that. In fact, that'd be another great video. There's a group out of Kenya that basically is kind of modern slave labor, where they label all the data, which is healthy, bad, all that kind of stuff. Massive numbers of people it takes to do this. But these companies are essentially taking information and ingesting it and not directly giving credit all the time. This right here is probably, actually, you can't see my screen. You're like, what are you talking about, Jacob? You're crazy. You're crazy. So I apologize. So I'm talking about this AI overview thing here. And, you know, you're going to read this. You're not going to visit these websites, right? So they're stealing traffic. They could be violating copyright. I don't know. It's not really clear in the copyright law. So there's going to be a lot of lawsuits, lot of ambulance chasers see this as an opportunity to do something. And oh, Rusty. Oh, I'm saving that one for later. I'm sorry. I'll get back to what I was saying. So yeah, they're going to be suing for copyright infringement because a lot of this content is ingested and actually it's stored inside the AI somewhere, right? It's represented as data in a database somewhere, so it's being stored in another location. And even though ChatGPT, the last time it was like fully trained by roving the internet was, I think, October 2023, it still uses another layer called RAG, and anything that's not in the AI's brain, it uses that to go out and search the web. So they're still ingesting things from the internet in different ways. And that's just, articles and content and all of that. But just think of what it's doing with art. Raymond can relate to this. He's trained in graphic design and, works hard to make really cool graphics and an AI can just suck in what he does. And then somebody just happens to ask a particular question that involves having UFOs, and uses the UFOs in his thumbnails. You see that all the time. My AI mentor, he's a very prolific writer, and his articles get ingested all the time, and he sees phrasing from his articles mixed in with other pieces. So it's going to be a very interesting legal problem. But on top of that, a lot of people are going to lose their traffic. So that kind of brings me to my point to bring this up. This is all the more reason why you should become a YouTube content creator, because you come up in search and most people are going to watch the video either inside the browser on Google, or they're going to go visit you on YouTube. So it's kind of like in my mind, like the last spot. See, like right here, the last spot that your content, even though it's going to ingest the transcript and stuff, it's going to know the video, and people have a tendency, video, go and watch. Anyway, let's see here. Let me look in the chat. See, some of you guys are just uber dystopic here. Hey, Jason, thanks for dropping by. It's great to see you. Everybody, I'm going to put, Jason is another Manosphere content creator. I'm going to put his link in the channel. And he talks a lot about recovering from all the narcissistic crap his wife did. So I'm going to put that in there. You should check out his stuff. Okay, let's see some other questions in here. I'm just queuing up questions, guys. Just bear with me here. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so here we go. So, Rusty. This is already happening. There are AIs online that you can talk to. In fact, one of the first AIs that were actually created for therapy. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Let me see if I can find it. It actually runs in the browser. It's a Java-based AI or JavaScript-based AI. Let me see if I can find it. So you can check it out later. Yeah, it uses cognitive behavioral therapy. It's where is it? Uh, I'll tell you what. I can't find the one I'm looking for, Rusty, but if you put this in Google, I'm going to put it in the chat. Have fun, brother. there, there's a lot going on with that. Yeah, but I wouldn't, but that is definitely a thing. And then with the construction, so kind of getting into the creative destruction thing, what I've been seeing a lot with AI taking over jobs. Initially, we're seeing, the low level, kind of really basic, low skill jobs, repetitive, boring jobs getting kind of bumped out by AI, especially using all this generative AI stuff I've been showing you. And then, of course, we're getting white collar jobs. There's even an article where they did a survey where they asked CEOs, do you think AI will replace your job? And 49% that were asked said yes. So yeah, this although it could probably be better, who knows? But with trades, I think what's going to happen is just like with the generative AI tools that like I'm using, where I'm able to do the work of a lot of people, like write the articles, generate the images, while it'll blow out graphic designers to you can only do so much, right? But it makes it so that one person can do the job of 10 people, 20 people, 30 people as it gets better and better. And it'll be the same thing in construction. Because I remember, I think Raymond, yeah, it was the live I was on with Raymond. He asked me about could AI or robots do drywalling? And in a sense, yes, I don't think they could do like the literal taping and mudding and all the detail work, but you could certainly have a robot know enough to go and lift a sheet, get it in place and line it up for you, and then you can do the detail work, and it'll just be like an assistant. So I see a lot of AI and robotics doing like measuring, checking image quality, or I'm sorry, material quality. Is it plumb? Is it square? All that kind of stuff. So that you just point to a spot and then it just goes, okay, and puts it up or, on a wall or whatever, and does a lot of the heavy repetitive work. That's kind of how I would see construction initially happening. And there is a, I think I saw let me see if I can find the video of a Boston Dynamics robot with a construction worker. And it was just throwing a tool bag up. It was just a little cute thing, but you could, when you see how this thing moves, it is freaky. Yeah, here it is. Just show this real quick. Whoops, my copy game is terrible. All right, there it is. And I'll switch over. Oh, that's the experimental piano thingamading. Here we go. I will make it bigger. Okay.
Forgot my tools again.
And again, I don't know how much of this is autonomous, but it's doing it. Oh man. And this right here, this is the programmer showing off. Alley-oop. Maybe I shouldn't laugh at that. So, I think I'm pretty much talked about everything I wanted to talk about today. I don't know if you guys have any questions or any comments, but I was curious what videos that I'm making brought you to my channel, because I know I do a little bit of red pill and I do a lot more AI, and I was just kind of curious, you know, because and this live is AI, but you know, I see quite a few of my subs in here came here from red pill content. So I was just curious how you guys are liking me mixing the AI with the red pill or keeping them separate. Just kind of want to get a little input from that. Yeah, this is a great way to put it, Homefront. That, you know, it's a force multiplier. Same thing with AI, just as like a chat tool. It's a force multiplier, and that's again, that's part of that the creative destruction that I talk about when we start getting all these innovations. It's great point. Yeah, but they'll be, if they do, Rusty, if they definitely won't have 5 robots standing around watching one robot do all the work, they'll know the exact dimensions of said hole they're looking into. Oh, thanks, Brad. Appreciate that. Thanks, Rusty. I appreciate that. I'm new at this. I probably wouldn't even have known who's a troll or not. And I certainly do get them in my comments. I get all kinds of weird accusations put against me, and a lot of times those comments get quarantined, so they don't make it to the comments. But man, whew, there's some people that just want to live under a bridge. So Phil's got the an interesting question here. As AI replaces jobs, where will that leave the people? So I've been talking a lot about the creative destruction thing, and a lot of people will be displaced. Like I was showing in that Google search. I don't know if I still have it up. Let me see here. My rig is got too many buttons. This whole idea of 39% of existing skill sets will become outdated by 2030. And that's just, you know, what, 5 years away. It'll probably be more. But that's the short-term pain. The long-term pain will be that, you know, there's going to be a massive job boom, but it's going to be painful. It's going to, you know, I'm not going to mince words on that. But there's also the question of like, well, if all that work is going to go away, what's there left? What's left for humans to do? And so a lot of times, even if you could ask an AI that question, it'll talk about how jobs where there's human empathy required. You work a lot with people one-on-one. Those jobs will boom. Trades will boom. Because as people get displaced, they'll go into those industries. Yeah, that's kind of pretty much how it'll shape out. But I'm kind of thinking maybe your question is also, and I think you all actually asked this question another way in my comments before, where I think it was you, one of my AI videos where you asked how I think it was the video where I talked about the AI powered robot in the Amazon warehouse, and you said something to the effect of, they get rid of all these jobs. There aren't gonna be anyone left that's making money to buy their products. And I can definitely see that. I can almost see that happening, or I can see that happening short term where everybody gets blown out and pushed out. Yeah, but again, that job boom will come eventually. But yeah, it's going to be that creative destruction thing. I'm not looking forward to it, because even as a software engineer, I'm really not sure that I will be doing that much longer, if at all. And I'm training to build generative AIs right now, because I'm like, I'd rather be making them than not using them or have my job displaced from them. So, but yeah, I think also there'll be some deflation, as people they're not going to have money, and they're not going to be buying things as much as the corporations are thinking by firing everybody that's going to be there. And then you start getting into the UBI discussion, and how is everyone going to make a living? And so you kind of get this weird thing where you rob Peter to pay Paul, and not really sure I like the idea of UBI, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see the era of like 90% income or corporate tax come back, because the productivity is going to be so massive with the corporations. Productivity is going to skyrocket so much. They'll be making so much money that a 90% tax probably, is probably going to be par for the course. And and I think the reason why we don't have 90% corporation tax is because now we have income tax. So they kind of spread the load around, because it's still money coming from the corporations. If you think about it, they're paying the employee, and so then they tax the corporations on all kinds of different ways, and they tax the employees all kinds of different ways. It's, for lack of a better term, it's still a 90% tax, but yeah, it's a big question that I really don't know if I have all the answers to be honest. Rusty, coming on hard with the dystopia. I think the great fear is humans will take care of ourselves until we invent robots to take care of us, which is well underway in Japan, by the way. Then the robots will invent robots to take care of them, and humans will be deleted. Yeah, it all just kind of devolves to Skynet. Yeah. This is something I haven't really talked about, Brad, but the intro music in my videos, that's all AI. I had the AI write that. I wish I had saved those prompts, because I was just playing around. I could show you guys more of what I asked it, but maybe I can demonstrate more of that. Some other kind of funny stuff that happens. This kind of gets back to one of Phil's earlier questions, where he was asking about, I forgot what the question was, but it was around it was leading me to ethics and how they, can an AI be programmed to deliberately deceive? The other side of that coin is if you don't put those rails in place that I was talking about to prevent the AI from lying and deceit and causing harm and all that, you can also have the AI just kind of waste your time with nonsensical hallucinations. If for example, some companies, they'll take a pre-existing artificial intelligence as a foundation, and then they'll reinforce that with another AI, and they'll forget to put certain restrictions in place. And you could just easily ask the AI, hey, write a haiku about my accounting, or, you know, write a heavy metal song about HR, and it'll do it. I don't know if you could get a ChatGPT, but maybe there might be some funny videos I could get. It'll take me a while to scrub the web for that, but those are actually, some of those are really funny. But this is sort of like the other side of AI, where like it's just a huge time suck, and it's like totally useless. But yeah. The other thing that I saw one time is somebody asked it to write a poem about their career, and just all kinds of goofy stuff like that. Yeah, Fred. Yeah, this is very common. I've seen other YouTube creators where they actually give it lyrics. I actually, you know what? No, I don't have it. It's on my other computer. But when I was first doing AI music for background music, I forgot to tick a couple boxes, and I wanted like an 80s poppy kind of background track, and it just wrote lyrics, and it was talking about how like robots were dancing and making love and all kinds of weird stuff. But yeah, the lyric stuff is really interesting. Get a big kick out of that. Yeah, I don't know about AI being psychic per se, but Phil, but there's a lot of early AI, which is another category called machine learning, which uses statistical models or stochastics. So it's not like the deep learning, emulating a brain stuff that generative AI is. It's just basically taking data and plotting dots and then graphing a line. It's called linear regression. And from that, the further out you go, the more inaccurate a prediction is. But there are AIs that can predict simpler things, simpler scenarios. But yeah, great question. Rusty coming in with the dystopia or metaphysical. So we have imagine AI understanding, describing, and feeling deja vu. The closest thing I could think of that happening is when the AI makes a mistake, it will hallucinate. So generally AI is sort of guessing. It's always guessing to a degree, and how much the guess is correct based on other information that it's seen before. So you could kind of maybe say that's deja vu. Maybe that's a stretch. I don't know, but interesting thought. I know there have been people that ask AIs like existential crisis type questions, and I have no interest in that, but there are folks that do that. We have 7 concurrent viewers and 8 likes, so that's good. Thanks everybody. I really appreciate you coming out. We're going on an hour and a half, so I'm kind of reaching the end of my mental prowess, and I think I might just go ahead and cut it off here. So this might be a regular thing Saturdays. I think what I'm going to do is I might go ahead and do that AI experiment I've been talking about in my Sunday updates, where I ask the AI if my video is compliant to community guidelines and ad restrictions or ad guidelines. Because I know some of us can couch things in ways in the manosphere that may not be, you know, friendly to a broader audience. You know, take it or leave it for what it is. Maybe you don't want to temper your rhetoric, but I found it to be pretty useful. It's still pretty raw, but or maybe I might just do that because Rusty's got me thinking on on all the dystopic stuff. I might just go. Maybe I'll do like a two-parter where I'll do some using AI and showing you know AI just being degenerate. The two chatbots talking about overthrowing humankind. That one's really trippy. But yeah, thanks, Rusty. I appreciate that. This is it's been an interesting journey. I really appreciate all your guys' support and the camaraderie and just coming in and checking on me and making sure I'm not going insane. News is I've always been insane, but thanks so much everybody for coming by. And if you want to, you know, if you have anything in particular you want to learn about using AI as a tool in your particular industry or whatever, my email address is at the top of the screen. Feel free to send me a video request or send me a question. It could be a good video idea. And we'll go from there. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe, stay warm. And until